Welcome back to our Gym Challenge mid-season showdown here at Psycho Turtle. I am Dennis Geisler. I just finished inhaling like half a pizza. That is Pikachu. Pikachu did not help me at all with the pizza or any of the commentary. We're about to get into round number 5. This is the decider round. Tyler Deacy and Keanu Inosanto, both players at 2-2, trying to top cut here at this MSS. Only a top 8 top cut. Gotta win it to win it, you know what I'm saying? Tyler's team is Chen Pao, Rillaboom, Golden Go, Landorus Incarnate, Dragonite, and Overpond Hearthflame. Keanu's is Torkoal, Hisui, and Lilligant, Armarouge, Indeedee, Female, Gallade, and Annihilate. A lot of interesting stuff on both these teams. On Tyler's side, it is that priority spam-ish team with that Landorus Incarnate and the Golden Go. I keep thinking of this team as the team with only physical attackers, and it's not, because it's like half of that team isn't on the team anymore. But it's still a lot of physical damage on this team, and just a lot of damage in general. Just a very hard-hitting team, top to bottom. All these Pokemon are potential cornerstones of a hard-hitting team. And Keanu's team is a very Reg-E-ish Trick Room slash Sun team, with the option of a Torkoal Lilligant lead and the option of an Indeedee Armarouge lead, as well as the option of going for Gallade, our good friend Sarah Ledge, at any point. It is clear Annulate Gallade. No intimidates, but no intimidates anyways. I don't know, I thought I had to mention it. It's interesting. Getting underway, game number 1 here. Gallade, Annihilate. Did not mention the Annihilate a whole lot. It's Golden Go and Ogerpon on the other end. This Annihilate, Choice Scarf, Close Combat, Shadow Claw, U-Turn, Final Gambit. Very fast offensive. Reminds me a lot of the very, very early days of Scarlet and Violet VGC. On the other hand, that Ogerpon Hearthflame, maybe trying to take advantage of the sun, but ain't no sun here. Is in fact Annihilate. No sun, just Annihilate. And I guess it's actually not a terrible time to go for something like a Final Gambit into the Ogerpon slot, because you know that the only thing that can stop it won't be there. You get the Terra turn 1 from Keanu, I believe that is. It's going to be the Terra Fire Gallade. Make it a little bit more resilient against the couple attacks that it's being threatened with right now. On Spiky Shields, so maybe don't Final Gambit right there right now. Oh, Final Gambit right there right now. So nicely read by Tyler to prevent that. And does Final Gambit not make contact? That's a new one to me. I'm gonna have to check the notes on that one. Check the report. But in any case, Trick Room gets up. Annihilate in an awkward spot now, locked into Final Gambit, but still standing here. Not a lot has changed about that slot being good for a Final Gambit, but Blade gets the Sacred Sword down. Lots of damage against Ogerpon. Not going to finish it off, though. Golden Go Nasty Plots. We haven't seen a switch, so that is still the Final Gambit that's going to come out of this Annihilate. It goes, the Ogerpon goes for the Ivy Cudgel in return. Critical hit. Doesn't pick up the knockout. And the Final Gambit, I think, should still be able to finish off the Ogerpon. Indeed, it does. And Annihilate goes down as well. Weird turn of events there, but we'll see the Armarouge come out now in the Trick Room. No Psychic Terrain just yet. And even if there was Psychic Terrain, this Chen Pao would be very happy to stop that from happening. Not a terrible option to use, or not a terrible time to use Heat Wave here for Armarouge, actually. 2 Pokemon weak to it, and Gallade would be able to pick up the extra damage onto Chen Pao to break its sash. You get what I mean. Like, the combination of the two of them will break the sash and knock it out. Gallade's actually going to switch out. And Indeedee's actually going to switch in, so we will get the priority blocking up anyways, the Psychic Terrain up. But I still think a Heat Wave would be a really nice move here. Let's see the Terra on Tyler's side. Going to be the Terra Fairy Golden Go. No longer weak to Heat Wave. Maybe the Heat Wave isn't ideal, but it'd still do a lot of damage. Both of them. Chien-Pao goes for a Sucker Punch, but nope. Armor goes for the Meteor Beam. Does have Power Meteor Beam, this Armor, not the typical like Twisted Spoon variant. Gets that boost, and the Meteor Beam's into the Golden Go. About half the HP there. Weird decision, but certainly worked out, I'd say. Gets hit by a Shadow Ball in return, and that's going to be a one-hit KO. I did the little Italian thing there. That's going to be a one-hit KO. In any case, that's a ton of damage, and that's going to make things very difficult for Keanu moving forward here. The Gallade comes back out, but the problem here is that this Golden Go is really strong and not actually in any danger, and this Chien-Pao is still at full HP. It still has its Sash. Indeed, he does have Rocky Helmet, so it'll be able to break Sash if Chien-Pao goes for it, but Chien-Pao might not have to. And could also switch out to preserve for the late game, but this is a good spot to be in. I mean, it's just these two Pokemon remaining for Keanu, so it's not like Tyler needs to deftly manage all of this. It's just knock out these two Pokemon. Rillaboom comes out, blocks the Psychic Terrain, gets the Grassy Terrain up in return, and that's going to be permanent. Golden Go, fastest remaining here, destroys that Indeedee. No Psychic Seed today, and just the Gallade remaining. And Gallade actually says, actually no, wait. Hold on about that Trick Room. But I think that might be too little too late, as this Rillaboom might be in line to just destroy this Gallade, even Terrafire. High horsepower, and that'll be the end of the battle. Tyler with the 1-0 lead. Got the victory in game number 1. 3 Pokemon remaining. Pretty dominating win. We did not see the Torkoal or the Hisuian Lilligant in that game for Keanu. Did see the Annihilate, which the final Gambit was a nice Gambit, but ultimately didn't do all that much, and allowed the Golden Go to get a pretty free Nasty Plot, if I remember correctly, if I'm getting my timeline correct. So we're going to move into game number 2 here again. Both these players at 2-2. The winner with a chance to float into Top Cut. The loser not going to. This is an MSS. You can see how purple it is everywhere. And that's a big deal. This is a big deal right here. So, get their way. Don't think that's actually any different Pokemon. Ooh, that's a different Pokemon. Did not see that one in game number 1. Don't call out the hovers. This is the number 1 thing that you learn doing commentary is you don't call out the hovers. Even when it's locked in, I didn't mean to, but yeah, it's the Dragonite there. It is Terra Normal, Choice Band, Dragonite, as we see the Extreme Speed. But the Extreme Speed earlier, I was just looking at the priority tiers a couple days ago. It was very interesting. Tyler and Keanu going into game number 2 here, round number 5. Final round of Swiss. This is the decider. It's not like a fun name for it or anything. It's gonna be Armorage and Indeedee just straight up the lead for Keanu this time. It's gonna be Golden Go Chien-Pao the other direction. An awkward spot for both these sides to be in. This Indeedee could make it very difficult to actually do anything here. As Indeedee is immune to Shadow Ball. Probably doesn't take too much against Make It Rain and also any of the other moves. Indeedee's just gonna get out of there. Indeedy's actually totally out of there. Gallade going to be the one that comes in. Shenpao, Icicle Crash into the Armor Rouge. Could make it flinch. That's important thing number one. Make it rain. Waste from Golden Go. Gonna do okay chunk. Drop the special attack as it does. And no flinch. Trick Room gets up. So some nice chip on turn one for Tyler, but not ultimately going to get a whole lot done. And looking like this turn's not gonna be too interesting. I sleep. This pizza. I have another slice of pizza just sitting here. I already ate a lot of pizza. My tummy kind of hurt. I won't lie. The hubris. I ate too much pizza and now my tummy hurts. But I still want to eat this last slice of pizza. It's kind of cold. This is very important. Past this turn, obviously Tyler trying to stall out a couple turns of Trick Room. See that there. Past this turn, obviously the Shenpao will be hit pretty hard by a lot of things these Pokemon will do. It's gonna be the Meteor Beam actually out of the Armor Rouge, so we'll get a little bit of value out of this turn regardless, getting the special attack boost. See where aimed that Meteor Beam. What's going to be in the Golden Go again? Golden Go can much more comfortably go for the Terrastal here, if it wants to. Both the attacks were actually aimed into the Golden Go, which is interesting. Ooh, you can't go for that move. You can't go for that move. Yeah, you can go for that move. And to make sure that Tyler was not going to use Sucker Punch in Psychic Terrain. I didn't want to say it that loud though, because they're not that far away. So if I said it too loud, then they might notice. Golden Go's gonna swap on out of there. Rillaboom swaps in, overwrites the terrain. That's going to be the easy starter. Need the Terra onto the Shenpao, or a Ghost. Switches up a lot of its type chart, but mostly makes it immune to Fake Out. Armor's Heat Wave, it is now, ooh, not gonna get to Sash, but gets close. Rillaboom gets taken down by the double moves there. Shenpao does get to get a hit off though, and it does go for the Icicle Crash into the Gallade, does pick up the KO. That's a pretty crucial KO, actually. And now you are able to go for the Sucker Punch if the switch in isn't Indeedee here. Oracle, in fact. And that makes for a kind of awkward moment here for everybody involved. Oracle gets a Sun Up. Yeah, the problem here is if Indeedee switches back in, it blocks the priority. If Indeedee does not switch in, then you get hit by a bunch of damage from a bunch of moves. Oracle's going to switch out, so just getting the Sun Up and getting on out of there. Indeedee will come back out, so it'll get the Psychic Terrain back up. Unfortunately for our friend Shenpao, friend Pao, as I call him. Locked there. Expanding Force, going to finish off the Shenpao, does a lot of damage to the Dragonite. Not going to finish it off though. Shenpao is down. Very sad. Very glossy cat. Weird thing to say. Outrage going to land into the Indeedee. That's going to be a one-hit knockout, just straight up. Dragonite gets hurt by the Rocky Helmet. It'll take a bit of damage in return. I believe it still took it, though. Nope, it doesn't. Bye, Dragonite. And now it is just Golden Go and 2 fire types. And I think we might, in fact, be going to a game number 3. Let's see the Terra Torkoal, Terra Fire, as we typically see. You might just finish this one off with a nice cool flamethrower. I mean, it's kind of the opposite of cool. It's flamethrower. Eventually we'll see this one finish off, and we'll go to game number 3. But eventually, but after the protects. And Trick Room undoes, so I don't know, maybe there's a way out of this. Golden Ghost Shadow Ball, does it magically do 8 billion damage? No, it does half Torkoal's HP and drops its special defense. Torkoal Flamethrower is absolutely going to rip through Golden Go and send us to a game number 3. Tied 1-1. Game number 2 went a lot better for Keanu, just going for the Indeedee armor straight up. See what Tyler can do in return. Problem here for Tyler is that all these priority moves get blocked by the Psychic Terrain, and at that point you can't really do a whole lot because the Psychic Terrain blocked all the priority moves. Getting the Indeedee out of the way early could be important if you want to actually win games with Dragonite. Dragonite did get a lot of damage down onto that Indeedee, but ultimately got hit really hard by Expanding Force and wasn't able to get through any of it. Getting things underway. Game number 3, round number 5, mid-season showdown, decider. One of these players will have a chance at Top Cut, one of these players will definitely not. Indeedee and Armarouge will definitely be on the field, and it's going to be Golden with Dragonite on the other side. Dragonite we did see earlier just hit really hard with expanding, or get hit really hard with Outrage. And it could be very difficult to actually deal with this this crazy amount of outrage damage from the banded Dragonite. Particularly on turn number 1, where we don't even know where the Trick Room is coming from. It'll be kind of a 50-50 for Keanu. It's going to be the Follow Me, so we know where the outrage will be heading. That does mean now, 1, that Golden Go gets a nasty plot up for free, and 2, give it a minute, Outrage does knock out the Indeedee. We saw it do, actually not, actually I lied, actually I lied. And Meteor Beam, not even the Trick Room, it's just going to be the Meteor Beam going into the Dragonite? I mean, we saw it hit the Golden Go before, but it's got to be the Dragonite here. Indeed, Dragonite Meteor Beam takes it down, and the fact that it barely, the Indeedee barely took the Outrage this time. I'm curious what the numbers say on that one. But now Rillaboom can switch in, overwrite the Psychic Terrain, Get the grassy terrain up. Go for probably a pretty free fake out onto the Indeedee slot, and then try to hit armor as hard as possible. And you can see Tyler moving quickly. The synapse is firing on these plays. And then on Keanu's side, what do? You're gonna let the Indeedee go down. A helping hand up for Armor Rouge. That's if it works though. Grassy Glide finishes off the Indeedee. Critical hit, a very important crit. Rocky Helmet damage in return. Big question here, is Shadow Wall from well first, yeah, the Golden Go goes first. Shadow Wall into the Armor Rouge. This should KO, I believe. It does. And that's 2 KOs for Keanu, or for Tyler, excuse me, onto Keanu's team. Keanu just with the 1 onto Dragonite, and now two bozos in the back with grassy terrain now have to figure this one out. And it's going to be Torkoal and Lilligant, actually. I've not seen the Lilligant yet, but they're doing this without the Trick Room, most importantly. And that could be the decider here. Torkoal can't really do anything about, because we could see an after you, yeah, we could see an after you eruption, but against either of these Pokemon Terrastalize, well, actually, I forgot that this is a Terra Fairy Golden Go. Against the Rillaboom Terrastalize, it won't do all that much. Can't go for the Sleep Powder in case it doesn't Terrastalize. That would be horribly embarrassing. It does Terrastalize, though. Terra Fire Rillaboom, as we typically see. Now resists that eruption. Should be able to take it with the Assault Vest and everything. See the Terra on the other end as well. I'd imagine that this one is going to be Torkoal. It is indeed Terra Fire Torkoal. Terra Fire, In Sun, Charcoal, Eruption at max HP. With only 1 target too. This will still do a lot of damage to this Rillaboom, even though it is Assault Vest and it is resistant now. Lilligant goes for the Sleep Powder. Nice Sleep Powder there, covering all the options. Just covering all the options in the Eruption. See how much this does, but gotta feel good for Keanu to read that play so well. Does a little of that, about half. It does about half. Rillaboom should be able to take another Eruption, most certainly. Post haste. Should be the wake up turn. Lilligant will use After You to get the fast eruption now for Torkoal. Indeed it will. That will absolutely finish off the Golden Go, but it will absolutely not finish off the Rillaboom. There's 20 HP left on the Rillaboom. This duo here of the Torkoal and the Lilligant might be able to win this battle here for Keanu if Rillaboom does not wake up, and it do not in fact wake up. It takes a second sleep turn, gets a little bit of HP back, but one more After You eruption might just well, it won't do it, but it'll get Chen Pao just down to the Sash, which should pretty much guarantee things. Lilligant's just going to close combat into the Rillaboom, actually. Slightly different plan, but that's fine. Lilligant out of there. Or excuse me, Rillaboom out of there. Lilligant low on HP, but has that Focus Sash. Be able to take 2 hits regardless. Chen Pao with the Icicle Crash onto the Torkoal. Do a bit of damage. Does it flinch? Does not flinch. Flamethrower with the chance to burn. Could end it right here. Doesn't. Just 1 HP remaining. Doesn't get the burn. Gets a little bit of HP back. A whole 10. And Tyler will color there. And Keanu Inosanto with the 2-1 victory. Looked tough in game number 1, but pulled that one back in the next 2 games with that Trick Room setup in game number 2, and then faking the Trick Room and just taking out the Dragonite in game number 3. A nice call there to really handle that and get it done. We'll take a quick break. We'll tabulate the results, and we'll be back in the quarterfinals of Top Cut. So don't go anywhere.